So we technically do have a quorum, so, Adam, you can open it, or do you want me to run it from here, or do you want to do it from there? Adam, what do you want to do?
I'm indifferent. I don't know, what's the smoother way to do it? It's easier.
Whatever's smoother for you. I just
Well,
gotta grab my notes.
I guess that what's the first thing we do? Welcome and public comment.
Yes,
Anyone from the public? Duncan, you would be the member of the public, I guess. So.
I'm the only one in the room, so I can speak for the room. Nope.
Any changes or additions to deletions from the agenda?
I don't think so.
Okay. On to the agenda then.
So I had, it's the meeting.
I guess we have. Go ahead,
minutes,
Kara.
right? I had planned on providing a sample of the meeting minutes that I did for the July 24th meeting to see if everybody is okay with that style before I did it for all of the rest. I'm sorry I didn't do it all before now, but
Okay.
my real job came first. So I can send this via email to everybody, and all I did was take the bulleted agenda and add bullets underneath them about like things like committee determined that basic minutes would be drafted for review based on agenda items and the past and future building maintenance history. I went into a couple of bullets about that. I didn't do the he said, she said, and is that okay with everybody?
I think that's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with the meetings being recorded, that's perfect.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send this draft around just for you to say thumbs up, like, yes, do that same format, and I'll do it for all the rest of the previous minutes.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Kara.
I did get one meeting done. So check that off the list. There you go. So there's no meetings, there's no approval of the minutes to happen right now, Adam. Sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I guess we're on to the capital draft of the capital maintenance plan, discuss and draft capital maintenance plan.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, and that's not this display, Duncan. That was,
Yeah.
we were gonna talk about what Amy was gonna give us based on the library and talk about that.
Very easy, because when I talked to both Rebecca and Lori, they said, oh, the library doesn't actually have a capital maintenance plan, a formal written document or a capital maintenance plan. That although we realized like, oh, that would probably be a good thing for the new director that's in the process of being hired to work on as soon as they are on board. So in terms of capital maintenance, like the things that Connie has scheduled over the next 2 fiscal years, which are like flooring, there's carpet and tile replacement, there's refinishing the flooring in the community room, there is some interior painting and possibly the boiler being replaced, but Rebecca's not sure that actually needs to happen, so that's a question mark. So that's sort of the scope of upcoming maintenance that we have we have not necessarily I guess we've budgeted very loosely. We're thinking that we would do that. And then the only other 2 things is we have a standing contract with New England Air Systems to do all of the HVAC, maintenance. They take care of scheduled maintenance, and they respond to any problems that come up. They're there fairly frequently, I think, in the last year or so. And then we have a contract with Otis Elevator Company to do the mechanicals and the inspections on the elevator. So, and they come on a regular basis.
So is it okay if I speak, Adam? I don't mean to. Okay. It's hard when we're not in the same room to go, who's next? Can you go back to the list that, I think I sent it in an email, and if not, you'll just remind me to do so. The list that Connie prepared that had a list of what were the budgeted items, and confirm that what she has on that list compared to what you're hearing from the library.
Yeah, those are the same. Yeah, those are the same.
And if anything's changed, let's note that, but I think we should turn that into a formal document. I know the director or whoever's going to be doing that there. So if they can start that process, and things that we should add onto it and have on a capital plan would be like the roof, the entrances, if steps need to be replaced in so many years, anything that would has a life.
So we do have the spreadsheet that I shared with people a couple of meetings ago, which has the list of that's sort of broken down as the projects that have been done since 2021 in terms of exterior maintenance, and the projects that are in progress right now as of like this fall for the next calendar year. So that's probably that's a piece of the plan. And I think what the new director will want to work with the trustees on is, okay, we've just spent all this money refurbishing the roof tiles and repainting the library and fixing flashings, and we may be doing steps, and we're applying for grants for the entranceway. Like once those things happen, then what's our plan for maintaining them? So
yeah, and I think what that is those things and anything else on the list roll into what's the expected life of it.
Yep.
And a projected amount that should be starting to be reserved, or the reserve spoken for certain things and timeframes, just like, the whole process of we're going to replace the truck in 2024 or 2029, that kind of thing.
That is something that we will have the new director do, hopefully in the next months or so.
Perfect. So what I'll do instead then is, I thought there was going to be something coming, so I didn't draft something.
No,
for
there
the town
isn't
center.
anything that exists currently.
Okay, so
Other than
we're gonna
Connie's
have to
little line items and the contracts. So
Duncan, is there anything that exists for any building in the town of Richmond? Is there a capital maintenance plan for any building?
Well, yeah, I think we have some of what Amy was talking about, Connie's line of items, but not any sort of painting projects, window projects. There's no roofing projects that are set aside as a capital plan right now. That I'm aware of. Once again, there's I think the budget as well as I do. So it's like we have a few little, side capital plans that we've set aside, but it's not really major, okay, when does the heating system, or if, we really do want to put solar in, how are you doing that? And, stuff like that. So.
Okay. That sounds like a pretty big project to get that spreadsheet going then on what the real capital plan is going to look like, maintenance plan. Okay. I don't have anything more on that. It's just I guess we get to assign that to Kara, the draft.
it's a to-do.
Well, I think it's part of what was, proposed in the budget,
Mhm.
what you guys had done earlier. That's probably the starting point. And where can you pick and choose and break off things? And like the list I was sharing, it's got a lot of stuff on it that you can do, but it's weird interconnections between them too.
The list that you're gonna get to when we do the next item, the short-term maintenance stuff. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And
Totally.
so it's like some of them are like, oh yeah, you can do that, but then are you real? Yeah, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other in certain things. So.
But we know the basic things. We know like roofs, exterior painting, interior painting, replacement of carpets, upgrading bathrooms, anything that we have to do for any new ADA things, and, handicap accessible and all of those kind of pieces to the puzzle. So yeah, we can start to tackle that larger scale. Capital plan.
As Amy was saying, we do have, some elevator stuff. We have road maintenance. We have, air system filter changes. We have boiler maintenance. We have basic, plumbers and electric. But other than that, there's not like a huge capital plan on what that building is.
And what it might develop. And what it might develop for us is realizing the larger scale pieces, but then when we do the short-term maintenance plan that we should have in place as well, that might determine that the budget line item of $15,000 is not sufficient. Mm-hmm. And that going forward, maybe it needs to be 25 it depends on what the list of things are and what years that we're tackling them, but that could drive that as well. But then again, some of that post office revenue shouldn't just be going into a reserve. Potentially, it should be actually used to maintain the building, which it was originally supposed to be used for. So yeah, I'm looking at all the pieces of the puzzle, and I don't really have a true picture yet, so I don't need to sound like I do. I just know that I think there's some money that we can do some things for this building right away to make it better for both the staff, the tenants, and the public. So. Adam, tag.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to pull this up on my laptop at the same time so I can actually see the attachments from earlier.
So you can see what from earlier?
Oh, just the shared screen. Not that I want to look at it again, but I just couldn't see it on my phone, obviously.
Oh,
So.
you closed the shared
Oh,
screen.
I can
Yeah.
share the screen again.
No,
Hold on.
it's okay. Yeah, no,
He
it's
stopped sharing, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. It's just yeah, got it.
Yeah, so this
Duncan-
basically, once
Duncan,
again,
you left some
it-
sheets
it-
here? Can I use one of these? You left these, I think, here.
yeah, no, I left those,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Everyone who showed up, so all the audience members there can take some too. But yeah, just leave any of that. I'll pick that up tomorrow morning, so don't worry.
Oh,
But
perfect. I can take
some.
notes on it. Thank you.
Take some, definitely. So yeah, this is basically just like the different employees and tenants commenting on if you had to improve your
Gotcha. Okay.
space and, you know, basic building maintenance. Once again, I've been here less than Amy's been on the committee, so you know, as an employee, and I know the building well, but you know, Linda knows it at another level, Connie knows it at another level, Josh knows it, everyone knows it. So I just tried to accumulate as many of those perspectives as possible, just through a form and an observation. So
Can I ask some basic questions? Because this goes to the Karen Yegi email that said if you're gonna do a test, efficiency test, then you have to go close my window. Don't we have air conditioning in this building? And
Yeah.
if we're leaving windows open while doing air conditioning or leaving windows open with heat, that is not a good way to, it's not environmentally appropriate for us to be using fuel or gas to heat the outdoors or electricity to cool the outdoors, whatever everything is that's doing, it's not good. I mean,
I don't think we usually
Why?
have windows open. I don't know what you were talking about with Karen Yagi's comments, but I don't think we usually have windows open when we're air conditioning it in the summer or in the winter when we're
it
heating.
was an email that we just got within the last month, right, Adam, that said that if somebody's gonna do the blow test, that you need to go shut my windows.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull it up right now. Yeah, I'm not. I do
I think I
remember.
remember that comment, but I guess I interpreted that a different way. So sorry if I
Let me see if
didn't
I can
realize
find it.
that.
Hold
No,
on.
I think I remember what you're saying.
Also, wouldn't surprise me if we have air conditioning, but Karen's space
But
specifically
once
doesn't
again,
have the greatest air conditioning.
yes.
So who
And,
knows?
well, so part of the problem is with our system, in especially the third floor, which is why sometimes the conference room A is a little bit chillier than you might think, is because you have to drive that air into the other parts of the building that are not designed to be closed off. So to get the
Okay,
Historical Society and the senior center offices anywhere close to cooling off, you got to keep blowing air in there, or
gotcha.
they're just boiling with those windows wide open.
Has-
Old windows just letting in heat and letting in stuff that they can't open up. And once again, like any apartment, they're still going to open up windows sometimes and blow air in. You know, I'm not checking it all the time. I'm sure that happens because it's the best solution for that time. And yeah, it's losing some money, but I don't think it's a ton. Sometimes you just have to do that in those small spaces that we've carved out. That our air system isn't really. My understanding is our air system is not designed to circulate around those smaller rooms in the third floor and the basement area, which is our biggest problems, air quality wise.
I think there's some experts though who do that, who go into hospitals and older buildings and different areas and work to improve the circulation of that by closing vents certain places, adding more vents and moving things. And it doesn't take like, it's not a multi-million-dollar process to do that. It takes an expert who's not looking to build us a whole brand new system, but looking to fix some of the existing problems that we have. So I'm just curious if anybody's ever looked into that.
Well, that would probably be, yeah, it would probably be a whole RFP, I would think, of like, okay, we want to redo our whole air exchange system. And once again, I love what Mayhui does with us. I think they do a great job. But once again, there's a lot of weird air intakes, a lot of weird old systems, once again, with the tiles and stuff too. So I think sometimes the air quality is too tied into some of the ceiling tiles, which are old and not so in great shape. So that's
I mean,
one of
we
the
could just,
things that
we
exists.
could explore putting together an RFP for just a rebalancing. I suspect that
Thank
we'll
you.
run into some
Thank you,
serious limitations. Of what
Rebalancing.
what they can do with what they have in the spaces, because obviously stuff's moved around with that. The HVAC being adjusted accordingly, it sounds like.
Thank you. I didn't know what it was called. Rebalancing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not a massively expensive process relative to,
No.
physical work, but it's not cheap either.
And I
It's
have-
not like
I
thousands
have
of dollars,
Karen's
it's like
email.
tens of thousands.
I have Karen's email pulled up and she didn't talk about windows being open. What she talked about, at least in the one I'm looking at, is the Historical Society has humidity and temperature records for our archives. Only one of the two vents actually works in the archives, and at times I wear a heated vest in the office. So, and
No,
then
there's
she
a
talked
different
about-
one.
She talked about windows and drop ceilings, and
Is it the blow test? Does it say blow test on the top of it?
no, this is
No,
archive.
it's an email that's specifically for the blow test, because she had heard a blow test was going to happen. So
Yeah,
could
no, I
somebody
know.
please-
They were doing a test one day on that, and you're right. They might have had windows open. Who knows?
And
they
I'm not,
screwed the doors.
please realize, I am not judging anybody by that.
No.
but
I think it's a good question.
When, like, if you look at your list, page 1, number 30 and number 40, one is about screens to keep the bugs out and the mosquitoes out, so it means windows are open. And the second one is windows are old and drafty and hard to open and close. Well,
Right.
if we're heating and we're cooling, it's not like you're at your own home where you
Right.
get to open and close windows. If we do that rebalancing, then that might help solve that problem, but it's not like we're gonna buy screens for the windows if they're really supposed to be closed while all the systems are on.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you, Carol. Let's just get those windows closed and keep them closed. That's the easiest solution. No opening them anymore. But then there's the emergency access stuff too. It's like it's one of those things. But no, I think most of our windows should almost be more like lighting and basic. Offer. If we're doing good air systems, we don't need to open and close it much in New
I
England.
mean, I just see things on the list and go, I'm not gonna jump on that if we're really gonna look at the HVAC system and getting better circulation for airflow purposes for both heating and cooling.
Right.
So the rebalancing, thank you for the word on that, Adam, and what that means. So it's just some of those things that I remember from Karen's email and like this, and how does that mean? Do we wanna, I'm comfortable with going down through this list and seeing if there's anything that we can add to those couple of things that we were asking the select board to consider moving forward with repairing, like the entrance downstairs and making sure all the doors locked and worked properly for everybody. It's a security thing. I got the list right here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think
Just I had one point, Karen. This isn't not to say that we should do this, but can we possibly review this and come back next meeting with proposals for it? I know my amount of time I have before my kids explode and I have to
Oh, yeah, totally.
feel
Why
off and
don't
do
we
that. It's very
why don't
finite.
we
So,
why don't we
yeah,
make
but I
like,
do agree.
I would love to make us determine like what we think could be done now.
Yeah.
Versus what we have to wait on, and the wait purpose is either it's tied to something else. Or, a bigger project like the screens and the opening and closing of windows, for me, that's a wait, but rebalancing and checking the HVAC system is a now. So I don't know if we can just create another column on this, on the spreadsheet and just go down through it for ourselves and come back next time to say, I think this is a wait and this is a now, or I don't know. What do you think of that?
That would work for
Yeah,
me. I'm also wondering if we take this list a little bit, like it seems to me there's a lot of repetition. So Duncan has it organized by the different people in various spaces who are all kind of saying some of the same things. So I'm wondering if it makes sense for us to kind of look at the list of specific request column and try to condense those into like, these are all the things people have complained about the HVAC, and get rid of some of the repetition to keep
Do a category?
Yeah.
Okay, Yep,
Or
a
like Adam
column,
just did, rephrasing it in the terms you guys were just looking at. You will
Yeah.
know better from what we provided here, how to rephrase that into a simpler term. But you're getting the gist of what people are saying, and that's what we wanted to try to do, is this is what people are saying. Not just my
Okay.
interpretation.
Yep, I appreciate that. So, Amy, do you feel comfortable determining categories? Did you want to sort this and then we come back, then we distribute it and then we go down through and go wait and now? Or do you want me to try to tackle it, or Duncan, can you tackle putting a category in, or do you
I
not
think
feel
you
comfortable enough
guys,
with
I think
whatever
you
you-
guys should create a shared spreadsheet where you can put in your category names, but just maybe
think
even
we
before
can-
the next meeting, just go take your own, brainstorm what you think the categories are and come back with that for the next meeting.
I might, if it's okay with everybody else to save time with that, is I'll do a categories. And then just email it to everybody, so everybody can have the top basic categories just to start with, so we don't have to hold up another 2 weeks beyond that to then talk about categories. I'll create categories and I'll create the column that's now or wait. With just
Okay.
a drop down, and you can just click on, click, 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 and go right down through it,
Great,
okay?
thank you.
Again, Kara's
That'd be
homework, but guess what? My work has this was major week for me at work, so once I get through this week, I got some breathing room, so I can
Well,
get some stuff done for you guys.
That's good, because I was gonna say, my work ramps up for the next 2 weeks. I will be like out straight from now till after Labor Day.
Okay, so I'll take it on and I'll take this on. So, hey, Duncan, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this list for me and the whole rest of the committee. I asked you to do this, and I'm very thankful to have this and that you've spoken to different people to see what everybody who's in the building sees on a daily basis.
Right, that's the better history, right?
And I was gonna speak to Josh about the things that we've already discussed that we would like to have done in the building, or push to have the select board allow him to do. But he was he was getting ramped up, ready for a vacation the week before, and he was on vacation last week. So I don't want to hit him up with anything right now. So maybe it's good that we didn't really go through it with him yet, because we might pull like 1 or 2 things out of here that we want to add to that list, that we say, let's take care of this before the end of the year.
Mhm.
Right, and I think that's what, personally, Josh and I are looking for from this committee, like you said to Jeff Forward, of like, we gotta bring stuff to the committee, you guys get to make the decisions on how we bring it to the select board and how we're spending money,
Which that's an item
I
we'll
think
get
it's
to
just-
when
it's
we
such a
talk
great
further on,
idea.
but yeah.
It's such a difficult decision, and there's no easy answers there, so we just need more kind of input on that from you all, and just yeah, you want it to move faster, but it's not like we're getting someone to fix any of this anytime quick anyway, so
Right. And
we got to be patient and do it right, and then I think you'll be able to sell it to the public, and that's the most important part.
well, and I think you guys see it on a daily basis, so you walk by it. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? And you're like, oh, okay, yep, that's got duct tape over it. Oh,
But
well.
sometimes you just get used to it, and that's just the way it always was.
That's what I'm
So who am
saying.
I to change it? It's lasted this long. Who am I to change it sometimes? So you're like, hey,
Exactly.
we've gone this far. So it's a little bit of a balancing act, obviously. And
But this
that's
is perfect. This gives us a lot to go with. So I will work on
Right.
that. I'm good with that if everybody else is. So we've
Okay.
got good to go. Short-term maintenance needs will be looked at,
Nice.
filtered and looked at.
I hit stop share.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and then we can look at the
Sure.
rest of the agenda. Thank you.
So that was number 3. Now we're on number 4, updates. And Adam, I know you said you might be limited time. Was there anything that you wanted to jump on and update for us before I jump on some things to update?
I mean, I've the only real update I have is I followed up with our recent revelation that there is an ongoing energy audit scheduled. I just kind of followed up to see what the scope of that was going to be. Sounds like a good portion of it would be pretty useful for us. I guess we don't really need any input into it. It's going to cover all the basic things that we would want covered. Obviously, I think we had kind of talked last time about how there would be different magnitudes of an energy audit. There'd be like a surface audit of the building as it is now, and then we could do like a more energy engineering focused or take on that. And this is obviously not going to be like a comprehensive audit of the building envelope and savings with potential changes and efficiency upgrades and all that. I think it's going to be more of an audit of the building as it exists right now. But it should be a great starting point. It should give us a lot to go on.
Yeah.
Um,
Eh,
there's going to be
yeah.
emphasis on some solar stuff, which, it sounds like it's going to be separated out too, so we can look at everything comprehensively, or either, I guess, comprehensively or separately, however we choose to when it comes through. And it sounds like Jeff is going to share that with us pretty much immediately once he gets it. So
I want
Yep.
to be clear with this. Jeff was going to the select board. Jeff was letting the select board know that there was an energy audit, and Jeff was letting the select board know about the opportunity for solar panels. I'm not comfortable with that, and I said so at the select board meeting. We did not even know there was an energy audit, and we are supposedly the town center and library building committee. Those
I mean, I
kinds
guess
of things we
personally,
need to be made aware of.
having the solar separate. I mean, he is the energy coordinator, so I understand why there's a parallel path there. I hope just talk to Jeff about it briefly. And was like, if you're doing anything, just let us know. Like, we will gladly take anyone who wants to do work for us would be great. We just want to be in the loop. So,
Well, yes,
yeah.
Adam, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry, that I must have misinterpreted that. Go ahead. Kara.
As the energy, as what his role is, it still doesn't mean you do a work around a committee. And that's important for us to make sure that that's not happening across the board with anything else anybody else might be working on or doing. And I'm not being mean or difficult with this. It's just very important. There's a lot of moving parts. And if we're supposed to make recommendations and decisions based on not all the information, that's not okay. And that's all I'm saying. And I just wanted to make sure that that is not how, just because of what his role is, doesn't mean it's a go around the committee. His role doesn't outweigh the committee, and the committee doesn't outweigh his role. We're supposed to be working together. We're a community.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. More coordination would be, that is the second word in his title, right? It's coordinator. So
Well, and he could be, he could move forward with making recommendations to change the HVAC system as part of his role. So that's not, we got to watch that, is all I'm saying. We've got to work together. I want to make this building better. I'm all for it.
So that was the only update I have. I don't have any other material updates.
So I did mention the issue with Josh being out, so I didn't go after the items that was my to-do list, with having requests that the select board move forward with those items. I don't know I mean, some of the things that we were discussing, I'm gonna pull up the minutes from last meeting, if that's okay, real quick. I mean, I don't know where we were going with confirming the base flood elevation and talking about that flood mitigation requirements and looking at that. I don't recall what we decided to do. What are we gonna do with that? How are we gonna look at that?
That's a good point. I know we had discussed that we had discussed that it needs to be done. We had discussed, you have minutes. You probably remember this more clearly, Kara, so let me know. And I think we had talked about how there is a base flood elevate. So someone had hinted that we thought there was an elevation certificate existing for the town center. We didn't have it readily available. I don't think we assigned anyone to track it down or to find a new one or commission a new one. Is that something we want to assign for this week? Is to track that down and or commission a new one?
I don't know, how does that?
Commissioning a new one would obviously be would have a dollar amount assigned with it. So that would have to be an action item in a separate meeting, I believe. But we could at least start the process and get an estimate for it if one doesn't
For
exist.
base flood elevation?
For an elevation certificate for the building.
Were there two different people doing base flood elevations on those designs? I think that was what was Mike had brought up, that he had seen two different things on those designs, was my question. I think he was gonna look at that.
Yeah, I think he had just hinted that he had seen a bunch of different numbers and he couldn't make heads or tails of which one was which. And we had talked about how the way to decipher all that would be to have the elevation certificate in hand. And we obviously did not and I believe we still do not. And I don't think we tracked one down.
Okay,
I
so
think that-
that's definitely a Josh thing. I think it's a Josh thing to know if we have one. I mean,
Okay.
he should, if we've paid for it, we should have it, and if we've paid the design firm to have it, which I would think they would want to know. I don't think we would have a certificate. My gut instinct is they shot the base flood elevation, determined where it was on the structures all the way around. Because you have to do first floor elevation too, and that they didn't actually do a certification on it.
Gotcha.
Because the certification process is just a little more paperwork to fill out and do that, but
Yeah. I mean, I guess,
I
yeah,
highly
they
doubt.
I would assume they would have had a surveyor come and actually shoot it with datums and stuff. So, I mean, it would take Chris like 10 minutes to fill out a certificate if he had done all that.
right. Do you want to reach out to Josh and follow up on that, or do you?
Yeah, I can
need
ask
me to do
Josh,
it?
and then if not, if Josh is unaware of an actual, any numbers or anything, or any like formal recording of that stuff, I can reach out to, I think Chris Haggerty does most of the stuff in town. He's kind of the most adept at it.
Yeah, but my question
would-
is if it's somewhere in that documents that we don't know, could it be just a phone call to the architects who we did pay a lot of
Yeah,
money
yeah.
to?
I'll
To
ask
say,
Josh
did you
to
do this,
wrangle that.
or could you point out in the documents where this is?
Sure. Yeah, I can ask Josh.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Chris Hager's done a lot of them for me with a lot of the projects that I was working on, so he's.
I
he's
think
the
he would
go-to.
I agree though,
guy.
isn't it?
I think you would
Oh,
know,
quick.
Adam, because when the design firm was working on the plan, they brought in a whole bunch of different people to look at things and poke around, and there were structural engineers and civil engineers that came in and looked at the building. So they walked around with Josh and some other people. So I would think Josh would know that.
Perfect. I'll reach out to him in the morning.
Okay, so that's gonna help with a lot of the flood mitigation questions that we're gonna have, is because if you don't know what the BFE is all the way around the structure, then we're wasting our time trying to figure out how to mitigate it. I'm going down through the list of things from last time. I'm not seeing a lot of other stuff on here. I know some of the discussion that we had when it came to the capital management plan, was things were discussed, like who should stay in the tenants of how we're gonna accommodate and how much we're gonna accommodate them. And I, at that point in time, wasn't ready to think about that. I still am at that point where I'm not ready to think about that. I don't know if anybody else has made any different decisions or really wants us to consider anything, but I just did want to bring that up. I mean, I think going through Duncan's list is gonna help me understand that more, what their needs are.
Yeah, and I think as of last, I don't know, God, what was it? Last fall, it must have been last November or December. That was when we were having discussions about designing for tenant space, and the select board at the time, and it's mostly the same, did send a pretty clear message that current existing tenants should remain, like they're important to the community. And so the select board seems to feel like we want to continue to have space for the existing tenants.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not thinking that anybody's leaving, it's just, we don't have to redesign new spaces for
Right,
them
right,
potentially. We
right.
might be just fixing what they've got.
Yes, and they weren't and they also said, when we're not necessarily designing a space to a tenant's, specific specifications. So for instance, Radiate said, hey, it'd be great to have a kiln. And we're like, yeah, it would be great, but that's probably not going to be something we design for. So, we were thinking about, it will be general office space and the tenant is responsible for fit up for whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah.
Yep, perfect. Tenant fit up. Yes, perfect. The other thing that I had on from last meeting is we were gonna, when we get to the point where we're able to look at it, to potentially look at phasing, and the phasing would be based on potentially construction and funding, two different pieces to potentially the phasing, and that we're not there yet. That's all I have from the updates and the last meeting that we had. I don't know. I have no other issues to bring up that I can think of right now.
That sounds like we've got it to me. So we have action items to do, and we should make our agenda for next time too.
Works for me. We can get done early.
Right.
Exciting. I know Mike joined. I don't know if you all saw that. I don't know if he has anything that he wants to add. I know he's on mute right now, but I don't mean to. I just see him on the list of folks here.
No, I'm sorry I'm late. I got held up and didn't make it back here in time. But no, I don't have anything right now to add.
Well, I just wanted to make sure we saw you there. Action items. Okay, here's the action items. Kara's gonna send around the draft meeting minutes from the 7/24 meeting for everybody to review and see if that format is gonna work. If that's a go with everybody, and all you gotta, we're not doing a outside the open meeting kind of thing. All you're doing is telling me if the format is acceptable. And that's allowed via email. Once you know, majority of you tells me the format is acceptable, then I'll move forward and do the other meeting minutes. Amy's gonna go back to Connie's numbers just to double check that on the library side of things, and then you're gonna provide that to the library for them to use to start with the new director to create the capital management plan.
Yep.
Is that what we're calling it?
I think, yeah,
That's what,
that's how we framed it the other day. No, and that's what we talked about at
well,
the meeting
there's
on
a
Monday.
capital maintenance plan and there's a capital management plan. So I'm trying to say, which way do we want to call it? And I'll look that up and find out what we should call it. Okay.
You can just call it the capital plan and then
Capital
leave it
plan.
ambiguous.
There you go.
Yeah. That might not be clear enough though.
Well, I'll determine, I'll double check. I'll look at some of my the capital plans and what there should be called to make sure, okay? But based on that, you've got me doing the categories on the short-term list. Mike, I don't know, were you on when we were talking about the short-term maintenance list? The reviewing of that? Not sure if you can hear, but well,
Sorry, I was talking with a mute on. No, I was not here when you went through that.
do you mind sharing just for a second, Amy, that spreadsheet?
Let me see
We're
if I
gonna-
can find it. Hold on.
It's
Where-
okay.
Oh, there
I'm
it
gonna
is.
go in. I'm gonna go in and update a spreadsheet, Mike, that has a whole list of short-term maintenance needs that Duncan gathered from all the tenants and from the
Okay.
staffers.
Yep.
I'm gonna go into that and I'm gonna create another column that's a category to try to group some of the things together, like if it's relating to the HVAC system or to the windows, so that they're all grouped together. And then I'm gonna create another column that's a now, something that we might be able to address now, and it's either a now or a wait.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, and then I'm gonna send that around to everybody so we have it done for our next meeting. And then
That's
I
good.
think we always
Perfect.
keep on our agenda, update previous meeting action items, just in case we remember something or get something, other updates. So it looks like the agenda would be the same agenda next time as this time.
Yeah, almost
That's easy for
identical.
Duncan.
Is that okay?
Yeah. So,
I think it would be discussed and review the draft of the capital plan. I think it's gotta be managed, it's gotta be some kind of plan, though, it can't, just to give you a heads up on that one, Adam. And then reviewing the short-term maintenance leaves, yeah. Man, I got some homework. Anything else, Mike or Adam?
No, I don't have anything to add. Sorry, I'm
I don't have
muting
anything.
on and off quickly as the chaos
it's
settles
all-
over here.
It's all good. It's all good. I really appreciate getting back some of my evening here to then do the other homework when I get a minute. So.
There are much worse things than getting back 45 minutes in the evening.
Okay,
We'll
well then
we'll
I'm
make up
gonna,
for it in other meetings, I think.
we have already, haven't we
Yeah.
gone long on plenty of others? So I'll make the motion to stop, so to end the meeting, and I'll leave all these papers here for Duncan, and I'll shut down the computer if everybody agrees, and say, see you next time.
Sounds
Our
good.
next,
Awesome.
what is, Amy,
Oh,
what is our next
next-
meeting date? Do you have a calendar right there?
Yep, let me look real quick on the calendar. Next meeting date would be August 28th.
Everybody think that's still a good date for everybody? Nobody's gonna be going on a vacation that week. Everybody's starting back to school, right?
That sounds good. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to do that. I think the following week, what would be the 11th would probably be a little more hectic. So, yeah, sounds good.
Good. Well, I hate to have us not get too much done, but I think we're just trying to build the foundation for what we're gonna move forward with.
Yeah, that list is gonna
I-
take some time to go through, I think, and think about, so.
Yeah, but I was I'm. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I'm very relieved to actually read Duncan's list. I mean, it sounds silly that there's problems in the building, but it sounds like, wow, I think we can tackle some of these though. That's what I was excited about.
Yep.
I know Matt just joined us, and Matt, we actually have made a motion to adjourn. I'll kick an email just to you about what our homework assignment is, so I'm not doing it with everybody, so it doesn't appear like we don't violate the open meeting law.
Okay.
And, we're giving everybody back 45 minutes of their evening.
All right. Well, sorry I'm late, and appreciate the email, Kara. Thank you.
Not a problem. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I think Adam's saying all those in favor.
Oh, yeah, all in favor?
Okay.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Uh,
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.